PBS Sports, the worldwide leader in internet racing YouTube coverage, and NASCAR, the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, welcomes you live to Concord, New Hampshire, or North Carolina. We're here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is one of the crown jewels of the season. It is the Charmin 210. All right, rough start right there. Oh, there's the Andre slide for you. My name's Andre the Giant. Let's take a look at the points after 3 events. The Owners' Championship, Bryce, as we predicted, has the lead after North Wilkesboro. R.A. Kaiser up there. I mean, you can see what's going on. B. Spinney, Betty Rubble's bringing him down. Mako Sato sneakily having a bad season here with Steve Irwin and the Golden Girls. He needs they need something to happen here. Over on the left, you see the new prize structure here in the Winston Cup Series, PBS Sports Series. The Owners' Champion after 30 races will win $100. But there's 2 caveats. One, Wayne Deadwillie winning the individual points race will subtract $15 from that $100 prize. And then every AC Racing driver finishing in the top 10 individual standings subtracts $5 from that $100 prize. And we might, this isn't finalized, we might give away something for the top individual finisher, but I think we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because whoever wins the Owners' Championship most likely is going to win have an individual driver winning the individual championship. And now looking at those individual cup standings after 3 events, Mary Lemieux and Dr. Jerry Punch, the 1-2 punch, 1-2 combo for Bryce. That's why he's in the Owners' Championship lead, but Robin Hood for CMR21 is right there. Speedy Gonzalez was the darling of the internet world early on. He's dropped the P5. John McClain and Bob Ross are both there in the top 10 in points for Filski. And Benedict Arnold's up there for R.A. Kaiser. So, not a lot of. We still have some time for all you owners that are maybe have both drivers over there, at least maybe even in the bottom 10. Things can change. So let's get down to the track and that red hot action. All right, the field leaving pit road. Let's take a look at the grid here. Whitney Houston is starting P3. We'll see if she can right the ship after 2 straight DNS for AC Racing. Miley Cyrus and Harry Carey, both Campbell Racing cars starting in the top 10 this race. 11 through 20, Sally Ride. She's starting P11. She needs a top 10. We want to get a sponsor on that car for her, and she needs a top 10 in order to get that. So we'll keep an eye on her all race long. Harry Ball starting P20. 21 through 30, Russ Wheeler. Let's talk about Rocker 105, because he has Sally Ride and we have Russ Wheeler. That's probably the one name we haven't really mentioned that much is Rocker 105 and his cars. So their cars. So hopefully everything can, he's good from now on. And then 31 through 40, let's keep an eye on Dr. Jerry Punch and Mary Lemieux. Those Bryce drivers, let's see if they can get 3 straight top 10s. Betty Rubble and Chuck Nolan bringing the field through turns 3 and 4. Hopefully not bringing the field to disaster, because they've been awful recently. We're going to have a 4-minute timer from the time the green flag is shown. So hopefully we're in good shape. We got 140 hot laps here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The longest race of the season. Fans are excited. Fans have been tailgating in the infield for months. A couple people have died. A couple people have had babies in the infield, because you cannot risk missing this event if you had tickets.
Car inside. Still there.
I believe Chuck Nolan had the pole, but he's already been booted out of the way. Whitney Houston on a mission.
Keep high. Clear.
Looks like that was her. Oh, no, Chuck Nolan is, yeah. Looks like there's some good stuff going on up there. Wayne Deadwillie starting near the back of the field. He's just kind of taking her easy in the early going. Long race, got to pace yourself. It's a good strategy by him. Sound, very sound strategy by him. PBS Sports did want to apologize to the everybody. They forgot to turn on double foul restarts in the first 3 races of the season. Just a minor oversight by the rules committee. That's why in the early races, no cars have been starting on the inside a lap down. That's been fixed by just clicking a box in the menu. So we're in good shape.
Car outside. Clear.
Wayne Dead Willie scrapes the wall there at the back of the pack. And we also at PBS Sports, we pledge to show the standings a little bit better in the replays. You'll see what we mean. We're about 2 laps from getting out from under this wreck timer cloud.
Car outside. Keep low.
But yeah, those
Still there.
those DNFs early at North Wilkesboro help
Stay low.
bring everyone's attention to our policy that we have the wreck timer, but any DNF that happens after the green flag drops, we go with it. But if a car drops off the field before the race even starts, which we've seen in our day, we will restart the race.
Clear outside.
And if that happens, PBS Sports sometimes just won't even show you that it happened. Oh man. All right, Miley, thanks. That was by accident. I actually had a timer set on my phone for something completely different.
Keep high.
I'm not kidding. Like, that was so weird. I'm guessing we're right near the 4-minute window here too. That was for a completely different thing. Nothing to do with this racing series, Wayne. Looks like we have survived the initial start. We're good to go. Just settle in, strap in. We got 132 laps to go. Wayne, what's going on back there?
Hey, thanks, Andre. Good intro. The production quality is really going up. Those broadcasting classes have paid off.
Car outside.
Yeah, Wayne Dead Willie.
Keep low.
I'm just
Still there.
feeling her out there in the early going. Now he's starting to push the issue. Dale Earnhardt for Jennifer Kay has already made some big moves. It's sneaky. You can at all these tracks. There's some sneaky movers and shakers at the beginning of some of these races. And with a pit window of around, I'd say 32 laps or so, we'll have a field snapshot here in the next 6-7 laps. All right, so as you can see, the the protection value has gone up, but it's tricky. I don't know why I decided to do it in this race, the longest race of the season, because you can get editing fatigue when you're really bogged down doing these big races, editing these big races. But we'll see how it goes. I just got to take a step away from the computer every so often just to get through it. but we're setting the foundation for some fun stuff. If everything goes according to plan during the commercial break coming up, or one of them if we do a couple commercials. Speak of the devil, up here on the high line ahead of me, we will be debuting the Harry Balls Manscaped close shave of the race. So that's been a couple people have mentioned, having Gillette as the sponsor, but some behind the scenes info. Gillette is already signed on to be the sponsor for Razor Ramon, who just missed making the field this season. And Gillette threw a lot of money at Harry Balls to get their name on the car for this season. And now that Harry Balls has become just an icon in the motorsports world, Gillette wanted, all those eyes are on his car every week, and Gillette wanted that real estate, but Oscar Mayer is not letting Harry Balls out of his contract. But Manscaped has jumped in, and they will be sponsoring the close shave of the race with Harry Balls.
Still there.
And it's usually just going to be what happened, a close shave in last week's race. I don't know. I'm just making shit up on the fly. I don't think I'm talking as Andre anymore. But part of the thing with Andre is I've kind of given my future self a hint, or I've tried to tell my future self on when Andre stops and starts talking, because if you notice, there's like a little bit of a delay between the interchange between me and him, is because after I'm done talking as Andre, or I start talking as Andre, or like before I start talking as Andre, it's bookended by me just screaming something into the microphone. So when I am editing and I can see the sound levels on my voice, like the sound waves and shit, when I see a big spike or a couple big spikes back to back, I know that's where Andre stops and starts. So that's kind of eased my mind on missing and on Andre talking somewhere. And I think somewhere this season I'm gonna hang on. Three Amigos.
Still there.
I'm letting my anytime a teammate has a power move on me, I'm letting them do it. Gotta get my teammates. Gotta get my teammates to the front of the pack. But yeah, sometime this season, a couple things. One, very soon I'm gonna do show all the cars up in depth, up close, show all the little clever, funny sponsors and stuff on the cars. But then also sometime this season I want to do like a making of video, showing exactly the editing process I go through putting these videos together. I wouldn't do it unless I enjoyed it and it was fun to put everything together. But variety is the spice of life, so that's why I'll sometimes just change things up rather than just monotonously doing the same thing, race in and race out, All right, lap 20. We're going to hit the back stretch. Andre the Giant, what do you got?
Hey, thanks, Wayne. Good stuff. Miley Cyrus. Party in the USA up there, especially, Memorial Day race here at Coca-Cola, even though... Anyway, she is P1. Bret Hart, sneaky, and Chuck Nolan, both for Jacob and Deanna up there in the top 10. Hot stuff. Whitney Houston hanging out. Sally Ride riding her way to the front. She's P5. Biggest race this season. A lot of sponsors in the crowd, or in the up in the booth there, in the suites, tickling each other's balls, but also watching some of the race, looking where to spend their marketing ad money and shit. Muhammad Ali, that's a name we've mentioned everybody. I'm trying to think. We're looking through the field right now, looking for cars that just we haven't called out that much. George Costanza there, P20. We haven't mentioned him that much. Harry Carey and Miley Cyrus started together. Miley Cyrus is in the lead. Or they started near each other. Harry Carey, P17. Carmen Sandiego for B Spinney. She needs a good start. She's keeping B Spinney from like hurting himself. Just booing the team right now until Betty Rubble gets her head out of her butt. 21 through 40. We haven't mentioned Wendy Peppercorn that much this season, but there she is. That's her making moves. She's P21. Russ Wheeler, P23 for Rocker. Robin Hood came into the race, 2 or 3 points behind everybody. I don't know. He's probably in the lead now. Mary Lemieux, P29, has already gained 10 spots for Bryce. Dr. Jerry Punch hasn't. He's back there in P38. Jolly Green Giant, Bob Ross, bringing up the rear. Harry Balls has dropped. I think Harry Balls has dropped 15 spots. He might be the biggest loser here. But that's all we got here. Yeah, that's all I got here. All right, back to you.
Thanks, Andre. Just so you know, you probably picked up on it that and I've mentioned it a few times, when I do those snapshots, I do it slow-mo, and then I just speed up the footage afterward and just keep on going through the field. So after the slow-mo portion of the snapshot, and while I'm still showing the snapshot and Andre's talking, the action is not synced up with me in the corner. Like, it's however many seconds behind, because of that slow-mo that went on. If I was going for the gold, I would just do the slow-mo, splice it, and then go back and sync up where I'm at on the track. And it's a little too muddy in terms of editing. Because I won't get into it, but it's just something I think I tried the first 1 or 2 times that I did one of the slow-mo snapshots back in the previous season, and it just weighed me down emotionally. I didn't want to do it. There's just too many things that can go wrong, editing-wise. So if you want to see what I'm doing, in the corner it's live, obviously, and that was me passing Mario Lemieux and I think somebody else. All right, I'd say we got about 3 or 4 laps till pit stops. 3 Amigos are fast today. 3 Amigos have been on my case all race long. All race long. 14 minutes. Bret Hart has taken the lead from Miley Cyrus up there. If I remember to show that hot action, but it's just...
Keep high. Clear in
Hopefully
5.
saying it out loud reminds me to do it. Might have happened during the snapshot anyway. Well, because speaking of the live snapshot action, that's how, I think, what was that, back at Richmond, when the Beatles passed Miley Cyrus. We were only able to see that during the slow motion snapshot. I don't know. All right, lap 30. We got to keep an eye on pitters. That's why I don't want to be on this bottom line. And I didn't practice pit road entry. I don't know what the speed limit is here, so we're gonna have a lot going on when pit stops begin.
Clear.
And something I'm gonna start doing more often is for you to see your car on pit road. I'm basically going to always have just try to have the camera, especially on a track like this is like a perfect track to test it on, but not test it because I know it's the best way to show it. but I'm going to have a turn 4 camera showing pit road. So you'll see your car come up from the bottom left corner of the screen or whatever, and you can see it's your car, and then you can follow them on pit road, you know. Meanwhile, if I show pit road from the front view, sometimes you can't tell that's your car that's coming onto pit road, you know, and then you kind of get lost. You kind of get lost on where your car's at and everything, you know, or you can't pick it up that well. So, I'm gonna show the camera from turn 4, so you get what I'm saying. I'm I decided to go into this long rambling explanation of this when I'm gotta worry about pitting here. And, you know, with pit stops comes the possibility of some wrecks, merging, and a caution.
The leader's pitting now. Outside. Clear outside. Keep it under 45. Keep it under 3,500 in seconds.
I don't think that was a commitment violation or whatever. Come on, man.
You're too far to the right. You're too far to the right.
Oh, God.
You're too far to the right. Keep it under 45. Keep it under 3,500 in seconds. You're too far back. Pull up.
Okay. Not the best pit stop there, gang.
The leader's pitting now.
Bart Simpson really messed me up.
Go, go, go! Keep it under 45. Keep it under 3,500 in seconds.
Bart Simpson really messed me up. He took off.
Keep it on 3,500 in
He took
seconds.
my runway away from me. At least I have a car here around me, you know. Like I'm not going to be getting lapped.
Okay, you're clear of pit lane.
But to make up for the AIs, I was going to...
The leader's pitting now.
I was gonna be nice to the AI because they take this pit road exit real slow, and I try to police myself, but
Okay, merge when you can.
I'm not doing it. I gotta go because that's John McClane. I think that's John McClane in front of me here, or it might be, I think that's Bob Ross. Bob Ross was near the back of the pack, so I'm gonna be struggling now. Walter White, a late straggler off pit road. That's not going to be for position for me anyway. This is awful. That's $15 I'm going to save on the individual points championship. That's huge. It's a long season, but I know this is it's going to be a tough battle. And what I was talking about earlier, or maybe Andre was talking about earlier, is showing the standings more. Meaning, hopefully I showed them after pit stops that it's probably going on right now, showing the field frozen, you know, like the camera frozen on the front stretch. And you can see where the cars are running. I'm going to show the actual in replay standings thing, so you get a better idea of intervals and whatnot. Those Simpsons, man. Homer messed me up at Nazareth back in season 1. And then Bart Simpson just messed me up on pit road. But he didn't mess me up. What did he do? He pitted. But I was not prepared for him to be sliding into that stall right in front of me I've been spoiled this season, not having to navigate in tight quarters on pit road around cars and what have you. It sucks. Thankfully, there is a random caution this race somewhere. That can get me back into the dance, into the conversation. 'Cause right now I'm just flaccid and naked and afraid at the back of the pack.
A lot of hot, exciting action out on the track.
While you're back there, Wayne, make sure to wipe my butthole. We have 98 laps to go here at the Charmin 210. Bret Hart in the lead after pit stop. Sally Ride up there, P2. Miley Cyrus, she's in third place. Whitney Houston, P4 for AC Racing. Jules Winfield, sneaky, top 5. And Carmen Sandiego for B. Spinney, who apparently lost Betty Rubble. Where's she at? We have Golden Girls, Benedict Arnold, Walter Sobchak for Donnie L. We haven't mentioned Donnie, the actual name Donnie L. We haven't mentioned much this season. But Betty Rubble has dropped to P17 for B. Spinney.
Harry Balls presents the close shave of the race. Last week at North Wilkesboro, Mario Lemieux was pitting. The Beatles gave him the business on pit road, but he still was alive. Then Carmen Sandiego spun him out. The Beatles came after Mario Lemieux again. Eventually, the Beatles come. They're gonna come. They almost hit Lemieux. They do hit Lemieux. There's some blue foam that flies. Lemieux stays in the race. That was the Harry Balls Manscaped close shave of the race.
All right, we're back at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're on lap 58. We got pit stops coming up in about 5 or 6 laps. Miley Cyrus, Bret Hart, and Sally Ride still out there. They've been jockeying the lead back and forth with each other. So probably some good racing up there. And they have like a 3-second lead on the rest of the field. But we'll see what happens during pit stops. Bret Hart came out of the depths of hell. I don't know where he started, I forget. But he came out of that first round of pit stops with the lead. We'll see if we have some more surprises in store on this next round of pit stops. It's coming up soon, Wayne. Back to you. How you doing back there?
Thanks, Andre. Not doing too well. We caught up to Bob Ross, but then my tires, I was kicking a lot of ass, just kicked too much ass, and I spent my tires trying to catch up to Bob Ross, and now I'm starting to lose them again. But we still have a random caution here somewhere. Long race. If I can get a good pit stop and cheat a little bit on the pit road exit, maybe I can pass Bob Ross. And I don't know, Filski. I don't know if Bob Ross got into somebody somewhere. He had an accident at North Wilkesboro, but I think Bob Ross started near the back here, right? So he must have benefited from something going on with that late race, or like the pit stops at the end of North Wilkesboro. I don't know. Tell you what, the best thing about starting running P40 is I know no one is DNF'd. That's something in the back of my mind that I'm always like trying to make sure I see the DNFs and I show them live. You know, a car smoking, going slow on the track or something. When I'm P40, I don't have to worry about it because everything happens in front of me, and I can see if my position changes. If something happens where I can't see it, you know. Man, Bob Ross is just taking off. But pit stops might be beginning here. I'm coming in next time by. I don't care. I got a yellow right front. I'm throwing caution to the wind. Hopefully that caution doesn't come out. I just got caught behind the 8 ball.
Keep it under 45. Keep it under 3,500 in seconds.
Now that's a good entry. Now see, Bart Simpson was there, messed me up. This is a tight little
1.5 cans of fuel.
entry on pit road. All right, we got another hot car on pit road. Who is it? Looks like that's Sally Ride. Let's keep an eye on Sally Ride. She came in that top 3.
Go, go, go!
Started,
Keep it
you know what I
under
mean.
45. Keep it under 3,500 in seconds.
All right, now I'm going to show you.
Watch that speed now. Keep it on
I've mentioned it a few
3,500
times.
in
I've
seconds.
mentioned this little advantage I have leaving pit road, and you'll see what I mean. Like I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be
Okay, you're clear of
multiple
pit lane.
seconds ahead of
Leader
Bob
pitting
Ross
now.
after pit stops, just because they go super slow through here. And yeah, the tires are fresh, but I am risking it a little bit. But they go super slow there, and that's where I gain.
Okay, merge when you can.
That's where you can gain time. We got some fast cars coming here.
Outside. Clear.
I'm sorry if you were trying to pit there, Walter.
Still there. Clear.
Now, what I don't want to do is spend my tires here early and run into the same trouble, run into the same problem I did with Bob Ross. Or catching up, you know what I mean, catching up to Bob Ross. I want to get behind. I think this is, who is this? That's it's somebody who hasn't pitted yet. Never mind. But that was Benedict Arnold,
The leader's pitting now.
who I guess was in the lead. So yeah, look, I know my NASCAR, I know my Charlotte. We're going to be seconds and seconds ahead of Bob Ross. We just passed him on the apron there. Tell you what, I don't care. If I was racing for the win or something, I wouldn't get a cheapo win. But I'm trying to. It's called executive privilege. Here, I just don't want to. Just don't want to spend all race at the back of the pack smacking my thing around. Like I want to race, you know. I want to race while smacking my thing. All right, let's see if I can latch on to this group. Looks like is that Reese Witherspoon? Looks like I'm going to say that's 3 amigos, Reese Witherspoon and George Costanza. Or no, Harry Carey. It's going to be Harry Carey. We don't have too many look-alike cars that throw me off. A couple of them. Bret Hart and Gumby have thrown me off a few times. Just when you see them from behind.
Clear outside.
So this is great. 3 amigos. They were fast early. Hopefully they're still fast. I'm going to latch on to 3 amigos. Sally Ride and Miley Cyrus out in the lead now. Bret Hart, the excellence of execution, they did not execute their pit stop that well.
There's the cross flag. We're halfway home.
Halfway through this baby already.
Outside.
Bret Hart has dropped out of the lead. He's dropped back into, I don't know, P whatever, P4 or P5, something like that. No wrecks. Nothing going on pit road, or nothing wild happened on pit road. Good stuff, man. Seeing if Reese BB Ruiz. We haven't mentioned that name. That's one of the more unique names, owner names in the field. We haven't mentioned them that much. They have Reese Witherspoon and Walter White. Two drivers we really haven't mentioned that much either. Just they haven't done anything wild, good or bad so far this season.
Outside. Still there. Clear.
I was thinking about going to commercial or going to a break in the action, but I'm going to be catching up to this next group of cars because they're running side by side. I want to see if I can track them down. Whitney, oh, I almost caught her. Whitney Houston. Reese Witherspoon came into that turn like an asshole.
Car inside. Keep high. Still there. Clear.
Go, Three Amigos. I'm not trying to race you here. I'm trying to line up. I don't like what Harry Carey's up to behind me either. Just a little too close for comfort. I don't want to think about what's going on behind me.
Inside.
Wow, he's moving.
Keep high. Keep high.
Just let him go. Don't race and just
Clear.
latch on to the back of him. Poor Bob Ross. Great show. I mean, I was born in '84, grew up in the '90s. I mean, the Joy of Painting was on for the longest time on PBS. I think it still is. But so there's a whole generation of people that grew up watching Bob Ross. I'll fall asleep to him sometimes. All right, lap 79. Yeah, I'll jump back into the. Well, no, we're gonna keep the action here because our group of cars is catching up to this next group now. Pretty fast, and there's going to be some hot action coming up. And we did what? 32.64. Lap 96. Mid-90s for sure. Pit stop. Next round of pit stops. I've seen some wrecks at Charlotte in my day, but this is Pocono was one of them, and then this track, the stock Papyrus tracks. Those are the couple of tracks that was like, wow, no cautions, huh? We better make a random caution generator program.
Hey, did you forget about me? You forgot to do a snapshot. We got about 14 laps until pit stops. Let's take a look at the Napa field summary. Miley Cyrus in the lead here. Sally Rye still with her, but Pee Wee Herman and Bret Hart has been able to claw back from a couple seconds down, just riding Pee Wee Herman's bike with him to the front. Whitney Houston P6. Muhammad Ali, Larry Bird, I think that's a big jump for Larry Bird in P10. Elton John started up there after his DNF at North Wilkesboro, so he's doing well. 11 through 20, Jules Winfield was running top 10 early. He's dropped. Betty Rubble hasn't been able to gain too many spots. P16 after dropping to P17 early. The Beatles, P20. Walter White, P18 for BB Ruiz. 21 through 30, Speedy Gonzalez. I mean, we're just saying that name because he won the Daytona 500. But, I mean, he might just end up being a clown turd this season. Who knows? Harry Balls, P26. Mary Lemieux, P28. He's gained 11 spots there for Bryce. Dr. Jerry Punch, though, 31 through 40. He's P33. He hasn't done much. Wendy Peppercorn back there for Truxel in P34. And Wayne Dead Willie sucks. P39. Not doing well there, P. Diddy, or P. Willie, or Wayne Dead Willie. And I tell you what, Wayne, I'm sorry, but I forgot to set the timer on how long it took me to talk here. So the transition out of this might be kind of weird. But back to you.
All right, lap 89. Pee Wee Herman has overtaken Miley Cyrus for the lead. You could just tell Pee Wee Herman and them, they were charging for a while through the field. Elton John has come up into that group as well. That group, I don't know. But yeah, this is two of these cars teamed up. Three Amigos and whoever, Harry Carey teamed up and just left me in the dust over the course of just a few laps. Just tough sledding.
The yellow flag is out. Let's go. Race back to the
Oh, man. See? Okay, good. No, perfect. Perfect.
pit road is closed.
Perfect. Didn't happen under during pit stops.
Okay, we're
Good
under
stuff.
caution. Catch up to the end of the pacing line. Stay behind the 8 car.
And we're going to try to catch up to the field and pit. We're not really going to gain spots. I can take my time on pit road. I'm already thinking ahead. 48 to go. We're at 48 to go right now. We're going to be restarting with 45 to go. There's going to be a guaranteed one more stop after this. All right, let's slow down. Pee Wee Herman in the lead on these during these pit stops, or to start these pit stops. Bret Hart, Miley Cyrus. These are the money stops here, man. Or the next ones are going to be too. But they're all money stops. These are all money shots. Yeah, here we are on pit road.
Pit road is now open.
Andre is in the bathroom. He's not going to give us the hot pit road coverage.
Keep it under 45.
Now,
Keep
where's
it
that
under 3,500
asshole Bart
in
Simpson?
seconds. The pace
Right there.
cars in turn 1.
Tight quarters here, Jack. You're too far to the front.
The pace cars in turn 2.
Sneaky high court. Sneaky, yeah. Tight
Go,
quarters.
go, go! Yes, we nailed that stop. Great
Yeah,
work,
thanks for
guys.
nailing
Keep
that
it
stop.
Under 45. Keep it under 3,500
When I'm running
in
P
seconds.
unlimited.
The pace cars on the back straight.
Look at Bob Ross with his hot pit road action. He might not be in. He might not be in 40th.
Okay, you're clear of pit lane. Stay behind
Anymore.
the 29 car.
All right, I just got into Reese Witherspoon, no problem. She's used to it. And that's all she wrote. We'll see. You might have been able to see where your favorite driver's at.
All right, the lights are off on the pace car. Pee Wee Herman got out with the lead. Bret Hart, Miley Cyrus, Wheel of Fortune, Sally Ride, Heavy Metal, Suicide. All eyes are on Sally Ride here on this restart. Rocker 105 wanted to get, what do you call? wanted to get Sally Ride a top 10 finish here to get a sponsor on that car, but she's flirting with a win. Don't sleep on Walter Sobchak up there in P6. He's been sneaky in the top 10 all race. Muhammad Ali, Golden Girls have been in the top 10. Whitney Houston's dropped to P8. You can find your favorite driver there. Hopefully PBS Sports is cycling through the standings in the replay editor to give you a much better idea on what's going on.
Get ready now. Going green.
Wayne Dead Willie has a second lease on life here
Pace cars
after
in.
sucking nuts for most of the race up to this point. But this race can all go to shit right now as well, but we'll see what's going on.
Green, green.
We'll keep the camera on the action near the front of the pack here. One thing that's happened, PBS Sports hasn't mentioned it, and we'll mention it at the beginning of the next race. A lot of commenters, their names have changed since they submitted their names back in the spring. So starting next race, the owners' names that I've been able to suss out. I know Jennifer's changed her screen name. R.A. Kaiser's added some numbers to his name.
Stay high.
RFY Racing changed his name to RFY Drummer. Phil
Stay high.
changed his name to Philski 24.
Clear inside. Inside.
So a lot of names have changed. I'm going to
Keep high.
try to reflect what those new names are in the next,
Keep
just so you can, whenever you're in the comments and you're seeing people talking, you're like, who the hell is that talking? If their name has changed, because I know Jennifer's changed her name to like JPK or something. I'm just gonna. I mean, we're the worldwide leader in internet YouTube racing, and we got to reflect that. We got to keep the quality up. Anyway, Pee Wee Herman and Bret Hart.
Outside.
Sally Rise dropped to P6 here on this start.
Stay low. Keep low. Clear outside. Outside.
I think even without a top 10,
Keep low.
she has gotten some eyeballs on her car this race.
Keep low.
All those sponsors up in the suites
Stay low. Clear.
looking on intently. Pretty sure she's going to have a sponsor after this race. I did see the CEO of Grape Nuts
Outside.
before the race. We were talking about going fishing this summer.
Still there.
CEO of Grape Nuts might. Grape Nuts might be Sally Ride's sponsor going forward. All right, we restarted with 45 to go, and with a pit window of like what,
Car outside.
32 laps. There's going to be pit stops with 13 to go,
Clear.
and that might be a.
Keep low.
That might be one can of fuel and right side tires only.
Stay low. Clear outside.
Nice sexy move by Wayne Deadwilly back there on Wendy Peppercorn. I was watching, when I was trying to find a good picture of Wendy Peppercorn, I ended up watching some of those clips from the Sandlot. Man, alive. She looks, in 2023, she still looks friggin' dynamite.
Outside. Keep low. Clear outside.
Anyway, I think I'm still Andre. Back to you, Wayne Deadwilly.
Thanks, Andre. You really let your mind wander there, thinking about Wendy Peppercorn. I can't blame you.
Car outside.
She's just a babe.
Still there.
Dr. Jerry Punch could not get out of the running in the 30s this race. Looks like Mario Lemieux has made some moves. He's probably still going to have the points lead after this. Robin Hood was up there in the points. I don't know where he's at. Walter Sobchak has moved. Walter Sobchak from Big Lebowski has moved up into P3. Of course, his number is 0 because of Market Zero from the Big Lebowski.
Still there.
Market Zero.
Clear.
I'm behind Paul Revere, an AC Racing driver. I haven't even actually been paying attention to see where my AC Racing drivers are
Car outside.
in the top 10.
Still there.
I was thinking about part of the prize money, like money getting taken off of the $100 was an AC Racing driver winning. But I don't know. I think I have a better, I don't know. Just making this up as I go. But yeah, no halfway mark. I was thinking about a halfway point awards thing, but I mean, I don't know. How much money do you want me to give away here? I'm going to look into maybe, I don't know if people want to give me their mailing address and whatnot, but can go into like a, some bullshit.
Outside.
If you remember back in the day, Cafe Press, you could just put a graphic on a t-shirt and buy it.
Outside.
Could get some like halfway point Winston Cup champion hat or something to send to somebody. I don't know.
Car outside.
R.L. Stein back here.
Clear
Man,
outside.
that caution,
Outside.
a godsend for me, man.
Stay low.
So that was just not fun. Not been able to gain some spots. Seems like we're always behind Harry Balls, man. We were behind Harry Balls a bunch at North Wilkesboro. Mary Lemieux caught on the outside, but we're going to get under Harry Balls here.
Car outside. Stay low.
See, this is what I wanted to be doing early in the race. Or no, I did, I think. But that Bart Simpson
Keep low.
snafu on pit road messed me up.
Clear. Outside. Stay low. Clear outside.
I didn't see the lap. I knew there was 45, so lap 95. I was like, 45 laps to go. But what lap number was that? That was around lap 95, if there was 45 to go. So 105, 115, 125. Around, I'd say around lap 127, 28, we'll see pit stops. And there's got to be right side tires being put on. At least for me. If a caution comes out there, I'm going to lose my mind during pit stops, man. Tell you what, I haven't used my tires up this much, that much this run, and I've gained some spots. This is great. Already started looking ahead to the next race, which is at Denver Motorsports Park, a fictional track that we're probably going to run with no damage. Just that's our usual policy when we're running the first time at a track.
Keep it up, keep it up.
When I tune in a new track, you know, obviously I don't put in that many laps. I'll just run basically what amount. Oh, John McClane really let out of the gas there. Gumby's on my balls now. But yeah, I don't really. I'll just run what I consider to be a fuel run, quote unquote, and that's it. And then I'll make sure the AIs match up there, and then I'll let the AI do a run on their own, and then check pit road entries and exits, make sure there isn't some kind of weird bug that causes them to wreck. All right, Betty Rubble started near the front. Just having trouble for B Spinney. Could be worse though. She could be DNFing.
Stay low. Keep low. Clear outside.
Miley Cyrus is taking the lead out there. I hope I showed that. So, it's tough. It's tough for me to show that all the time, man. Hopefully I remember. Before lap 116, she got the lead somewhere. And I'm not going to steal Andre's thunder. We're going to hit up a field snapshot on the backstretch here. It's going to be a dicey field snapshot with all these cars. PBS Sports having to pause the game.
Outside.
And hopefully not wreck after he unpauses it.
Keep low.
All right, thanks, Wayne. Yeah, Miley Cyrus in the lead. Walter Sobchak, you were talking about him. You know what you're talking about, or maybe I was talking about him earlier. He's P2. Bret Hart up to P3. Pee Wee Herman and Sally Ride have dropped. Benedict Arnold up there. Let's not sleep on him. Carmen Sandiego for B Spinney has crept her way up, or maybe she's been up there all race. I don't know. Robin Hood, we talked about him earlier. He's P11. Dale Earnhardt for Jennifer. He started near the back of the pack here. He's up to P12 after winning at North Wilkesboro. That's big for her. And she has George Costanza in P15. This is a big, it's looking good for her now, but we still have these pit stops to survive. Jules Winfield was looking good for a while, but he's dropped back to P16. Elton John was running top 5 earlier. He's P19 now. And Wayne Deadwell, he's made some power moves here on this restart. He's gained 18, 19 spots on this restart. Alpha male performance by him, even though he has low T, most likely. Mary Lemieux, P25. For Bryce, Harry Ball's P26. R.L. Stein, haven't been calling him out much. He's P29. Dr. Jerry Punch is trying to break out of the 30s. Russ Wheeler for Rocker 105, P32. Bart Simpson, he deserves it. He's back in P35. for Angel Oliveira, another name we don't mention that much. We call out his cars a bunch. Him and Bart Simpson and Elton John, but we don't really call him out. Chuck Nolan. How did he end up back in 40th? Unbelievable. That's for, I mean, Jacob and Deanna, they have Bret Hart up running P3, but then Chuck Nolan, something happened to him. He's back in P40. Speedy Gonzalez back there, P39. Oh, that's it for me, man. This is we got 24 to go. We got some hot pit stops coming up, but it's a long race. Oh, man. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Andre. Come up on pit stops the next 6 or 7 laps. I've already decided to take on right side tires and 1 can of fuel. I need Elton John to get around the Golden Girls here. This has been happening in the last 2 or 3 laps. Hopefully, if I remember, I put up a message before that snapshot that I almost wrecked coming out of that. Coming out of the pause in the game there. Because if you're... I try to keep my wheel as, as straight as possible, or, try to keep it in the same exact angle as it was before I pause it. But it's just tough. It's just a shock to the system, unpausing the game. And I called my shot. I knew it was going to suck going 190 miles an hour in traffic. All right, let's put Benny and the Jets out the pasture there. Billy Joel almost was a driver, but I couldn't think of a sponsor for him. All right. Let's not lose the big picture here. I was having an ass race, and now I've moved up into the teens. Now I can take it easy. I'm not going to win. Miley Cyrus, Walter Sobchak, and Bret Hart still out there, top 3. And lap 125, as expected, pit stops. I think that was Larry Bird. And with 15 to go, man, my tires, I don't know. It's not an entire, this has basically been an entire run. So half more of those tires, those left sides are going to be yellow. Okay, everybody's pitting here.
Car inside. The leader's pitting now. Clear.
I wish I could see what they were doing.
Keep digging. You're now in 3rd.
Technically, I can. The simulcast might get a little bit interrupted here because I'm gonna try to see what everyone's doing on pit road. I should have went in there, but I need to see what they're doing. I don't want to.
Clear inside. The next car's the leader. The leader's pitting now.
Trying to get an idea. Trying to see on pit road what they're doing there. If the left sides are up. But I'm going to take a look right here. I mean, as expected, Lemieux, right sides only. That was, I mean, it wasn't even worth pausing the game to see that because I knew what was going to happen.
Changing just the right sides this time. Right sides only. We'll give you 1 can of fuel.
All right, here's the money stop.
Limit 45. Keep it under 3,500 in seconds.
Try not to use up those tires entering pit road. We're good. Here we go. Oh, shitty.
Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Limit 45. Keep it under
Don't
3,500
speed, you
in
ass
seconds.
clown.
Watch that speed now. Keep it on 3,500 in seconds.
Now, I gotta kind of police myself on this exit. I cheated earlier.
Okay, you're clear of pit lane.
See, there's Miley Cyrus right there. That's one of the leaders. So I should not be in the lead, you know? So I'm just taking my time here. Not beating the system. And then we're off. And I think I snuck into the top 10 here. There's Dale Earnhardt.
Outside.
JGG right here.
Clear outside.
I think I'm close into. I think I'm gonna be flirting. Yeah, P11. Gained 7 spots there through something. Probably has a lot to do with not pitting on a congested pit road. Miley Cyrus still in the lead after pit stops, or was she in the lead before pit stops? I believe so. And she. Walter Sobchak, P2, Bret Hart. Just an amazing performance for Bret Hart. Oh, no.
We got just 10 more to go.
Most likely cycling through the standings right now in the replay. Sally Ride has dropped a P26. Heartbreak. Just heartbreak for the space darling. trying to remember if she had a nickname. The Space Queen. I don't know. I'm going to steal a top 10 from somebody, most likely Carmen Sandiego. There's nobody on my balls. This is great. I'm going to be able to just kind of coast here.
Outside. Keep low.
Push my teammate. You never know. Pushing Jolly Green Giant right now could save me $5 by the end of the season. Dr. Jerry Punch has moved up to P21. I'm not really looking at the standings, but what did we end up doing in this race? 3 snapshots? Pretty good. I was looking at my Charlotte last year, or the last season. I did 7 snapshots. Ridiculous. There's just no need for it, especially now that we're... Yeah, I don't know.
Outside. Keep
This is
low.
going to end up being a long video because I'm doing...
Clear.
There's really no good spot to take a break from the action. And somebody this video pops up in someone's suggestions or whatever, and they see it's like it's an hour and 20 minutes, they're gonna be like, no. But that's not my target audience. That's not my target audience. I don't know who. I don't know. Just this is for the hardcore hot racers. That's what these videos are for. Jennifer K. I'm going to have to pass Dale. Big performance for him. That's going to be another top 10 for him after winning at North Wilkesboro. Just amazing stuff.
Just 5 more to go.
Solid performance by my my left rotator cuff this race. just a longer race than usual. You have to torque in my arm a certain way for every turn. Just wait till the short tracks. Oh, stay off the apron. Let's get this finish. Let's get this hot finish here. Miley Cyrus and Walter Sobchak. Sobchak is 1/10 behind Miley Cyrus right now at the line just now. So I don't know what hotness is going on up there. I can't even see him. Miley Cyrus. A Campbell Racing car. Looks like she was able to pull away from Walter Sobchak a little bit that lap. Larry Bird, Pee Wee Herman, AC Racing drivers in the top 10 right now. 2 to go. Let's just get to this end. Let's get to the end of this race. I'm afraid to make I'm not showing any Dale favoritism here. I don't want to make some bizarre move and wreck, but I also want to get out from behind him in case he blows up on this final lap, a la Elton John.
White flag.
But I don't have it. I cannot just throw it in there.
I think that's Miley Cyrus. Is Walter Sobchak making a move on Miley Cyrus right now? I think he is on the last lap. What is going to happen there?
I think she got it. I think she was able to hold him off. I think that's them up there. They were running side by side at the line.
Keep digging.
And it's actually showing a tie right now. Miley Cyrus,
It's over.
the interval for Walter Sobchak is just 2 dashes, meaning that it was too close to call. I'm thinking Miley Cyrus just won the game says she just won the Charmin 210. Incredible. Bret Hart was up there battling as well. That was just a sexy, hot finish. But I think Miley Cyrus is going to be a party in the USA in the Campbell Racing Garage.
Limit 45. Keep it under 3,500.
A thrilling finish to the end of the race there. Miley Cyrus gets the win by 1/100th of a second over Walter Sobchak. Pretty hot action there at the end. Larry Bird ended up sneaking into P4, and you see some big names. You see some names at 2 straight top 10s: Pee Wee Herman, Dale Earnhardt, and Wayne Dead Willie. Get 2 straight top 10s. Robin Hood's probably going to be in the points lead now, with almost 2 straight top 10s. Over on the right, Mary Lemieux. Mary Lemieux's probably going to still be in the lead. He's almost had 3 straight top 10s here. I don't think we have any big top 10 streaks going on anymore, though. Maybe 2. Andre will Andre will lead out the next broadcast with that if he remembers. There's a lot of info going on right now, but that's the nothing else going on this first page really. Jolly Green Giant, big jump for AC Racing. That's good. Going to the back half of the standings, Jerry Punch did end up getting out of the 30s, got up to P22. Sally Ride was the big story here. Not sure what happened on pit road. There's too many cars, and I forgot to check to see what happened there. Betty Rubble, big drop for B Spinney. That just sucks. Carmen Sandiego did finish in the top 10 for B Spinney, though. Bart Simpson ended up P30, and then the back 10, Chuck Nolan. I forgot to even. If you're Jacob and Deanna, then you probably saw what happened with Chuck Nolan during those pit stops. Probably wasn't something ugly. Probably was something ugly. We were calling out Russ Wheeler all race. He ended up dropping to P35. Bob Ross made a comeback. He was a huge he was one of the big losers there on that first snapshot. And shows you how quick things can change. I mean, Bob Ross and John McClain both hurt Filski here, the owner, Filski. It's probably going to hurt him in the owner standings. And finally, taking a look at the bonuses, Miley Cyrus led the most laps this race, so she gets all 50 points. I mean, she was just a dominant car out there, man. Bret Hart led a bunch of laps, Sally Ride, Whitney Houston, really good battles up there. I was trying to show as much as I could. I ended up leading 2 laps probably during those last pit stops where I was farting around trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the tires. And then over on the right, Speedy Gonzalez, Jules Winfield, and Steve Irwin got the extra bonus points this race. And you can see that Robin Hood was 1/1000th of a second behind Steve Irwin. If that's a tie for the third, then we just give him, but there'd be 4 bonus points given out or something. But we haven't had a tie yet. I mean, in 34, 35 races we've been doing those 3 fastest laps things, we've never had a tie. And you can see down further in the standings, 12 in place, Costanza and Rubble, 12 and 13, they tied. So that's wild. And then that's what I want to see. Me being 25th fastest of the race. That's the kind of the sweet spot there. I like it. Speedy Gonzalez, holy hell, 29.7, nuts. And that will do it for the Charmin 210. This was an editing chore, and again, I shouldn't have added all this stuff. I mean, I was like, oh, let's put Andre in a announcing booth. Oh, and let's make the Harry Balls Manscaped close shave of the race. Let's do all this in the biggest race of the season. Why not? Longest race of the season. But now I have the groundwork set, so going forward, coming up, it's going to be fun. The next race is going to be Denver Motorsports Park, a fictional track. I think I mentioned it during this race. But I will see you there. Having a lot of fun to start the season. Hope everyone's enjoying it. And yeah, I'm going to try to get all of the updated commenter names in all the graphics and everything. If not the next race, then the race after that. But all right. Hey, for Andre the Giant, this is Wayne Deadwilly signing off from PBS Sports. See you next week.